What is going on, guys? I am Jaye Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about Carolina Panthers quarterback Cam Newton. Any of you who have listened to me during live shows, I have spoke about how I am a fan of the Carolina Panthers, of course, and I am a fan of Cam Newton as well. And there was a video that I saw. I may play some of it before while posting this video. And it was according to sportsgossip.com. And it was a video clip. I don't know who was recording this, but apparently he was speaking to his tight end, Greg Olsen, tight end and teammate. And they were speaking about marriage. And Cam was like, no, I'm not going to be married, because Greg was like, you're going to be married, man. Come on, you're going to get married. You're going to be married. You've matured. You're going to get married. And Cam is like, nah, I don't think I'm getting married. Now, what's very interesting about that is because Cam now has 4 kids. He just welcomed a new kid into the world in, I believe, October with girlfriend Kia Proctor. Now, Cam's career is it's a question mark. His run in Carolina pretty much is all but over. There is a chance he could be back. There's going to be a new coaching staff, so you just never know. But Cam, to me, he's always kept his personal life private, which is fine. But he seems to be a good father. He seems to be, leading his family, but he just does not want to get married. Marriage is just not in the cards for him. And I can understand why. If you look at his longtime girlfriend, Kia, apparently, she is an ex-scripper. And maybe that is in the back of his mind. Or it could be a situation of he doesn't want to pledge his life to somebody that he truly doesn't believe is wife material. Because that's how I would see it. If you feel like this woman is wife material, you've had multiple kids with her, you'd want to get married to her. But apparently that's not the route that he's looking to go. Now, things may change in regards to Cam Newton wanting to get married. I don't know how. He has 4 young ones with his longtime girlfriend. Okay, longtime girlfriend. Now, again, like I said, time changes people. The fact that his career could be winding down, even though I don't think so. I think Cam still has a lot left in the tank. I just think that there's some personal things going on between him and Kia. I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I think they're having relationship issues, and I think that it may have, led to some on the field struggle, some focus. I don't think Cam has been the same since he lost the Super Bowl to the Denver Broncos. He's just never been the same. Like, that was the height of his confidence. He was more healthy. The team, followed him leadership wise. I mean, they still did, but I'm just saying it was on a different level. The belief in Cam was at a different level. Now, Juan Rivera's gone. I don't believe Juan should have been fired. I think Juan was a very good organizer, a very good defensive coach. I think the defense fell apart because, again, you had defensive coach after defensive coach after defensive coach. At a certain point, when you're changing schemes, there's going to be a fall off. But I think Cam may have gotten, criticisms for how they played, and rightfully so. But the guy's playing hurt. I mean, there's no excuse, but I still think on the field he still has, something left in the tank. I think he could still play another 6 to 7 years. This is only if he learns how to be a pocket passer. But if he continues to run out of the pocket, he may not play no more than 3 years. He has to learn how to be more of a in the pocket thrower. I mean, but he doesn't. Maybe we're not talking about that. We're talking about Cam and marriage. Now, things could change as far as his thought process on Kia and marrying her. I mean, they do have a big family together. What's very interesting though was that Kia already had a kid before she even got with Cam, and I believe the kid's a teen now. So Cam basically wifed up a single mother, and he did not have a problem with that. But again, that could go into his thinking as far as marriage is concerned. But again, maybe when his career is done, he may want to pursue marriage. It's just not for him right now. But what I also find interesting is that you have married men who constantly tell single men they need to be married. You even have women telling men they need to be in a relationship, they need to be married, because they can't fathom an eligible bachelor not having a girlfriend. Especially a guy who has his stuff together. They just cannot imagine, and he doesn't have any kids. They can't imagine him not wanting to have a girlfriend or have a wife. Him truly living his life as a bachelor. You have a lot of women that just don't understand it. And you have married men as well. Greg Olsen is a married man, and he's speaking from a perspective of a guy who's already made that leap to get married. So he's going to promote being married. He's going to say, hey, there's nothing wrong with being married. There's nothing wrong with having a wife. You might be right about that. But even though Cam has multiple kids by this particular female, he is still not 100% sold on being in a relationship with her, because there's something going on there. This could have been a relationship that has been on and off for quite some time, but they've been able to get back together. Trust and believe, when these guys when they struggle on the field or on the court, there are some personal things going on with a girlfriend or a wife. There's some things going on at home that bother them. When you have a solid home foundation, you're able to play better, to play easier. That season when Cam went to the Super Bowl, you could tell that he was, everything was at ease at home, as far as his health. But it just seems like he can't get both to basically connect. But I think that a lot of people, whether it be married men, whether it be women who are single or women who are married who inquire, they're just going to have to understand that they're just men who just don't want to get married. They just don't. Yeah, they'll sit there and they will build a family with a woman, but they're not going to marry her. Because first off, marriages are very pricey, and I think men feel like when they put a ring on a woman's finger and they marry her, she's going to change up, and that's what's going to happen. You see how, other guys have went through marriages and went through divorces, and they don't want to be in that same situation. I just don't think that, men these days need to be shamed into getting married. They don't need to be shamed into being married. But you do have a lot of married men out here who they themselves have to go home to a wife every night, and that's a routine that they are into. Greg Olsen has a routine. There are other married men in the league that have a routine. Cam has a routine. He's just not willing to put a ring on his girlfriend's finger. That's just not his focus right now. Maybe he doesn't feel like she's the one. I honestly don't think that a athlete should marry a woman while he's playing. Follow what Derek Jeter did. Marry well after you've retired, when you're no longer in the spotlight, when you're no longer gone for 6-7 months out the year. Wait until after that, because let me tell you something, what happens, man. when you marry one of these females during your career, they get used to a routine. They get used to you being gone half the year. They get used to being at home alone. They get used to, being able to live single while being married. Because trust and believe, say whatever you want about these athletes. These women get around too. They just don't get caught. You know why? Because there's nobody there to say nothing. There's nobody there to catch them doing anything. So once these guys retire and they're at home, these women get uncomfortable because they can no longer do the same things they were doing when he was gone half the year. They were just spending his money. This is why these women don't leave these guys when these guys get caught up with side pieces and messing around with different women, because these women doing the same thing. They are doing the same thing. Okay? Trust and believe they're doing the same thing. Why do you think the divorce rate is so high after these guys retire? They're at home more. Look at Kevin Garnett. He got divorced after he retired. And she's trying to take him to the cleaners. Because she got used to him being gone. You spending his money, living a certain lifestyle. Now that he's home more, they're tired of him. Look at Michael Vick. I remember I watched the episode of a reality show. I think it's called Football Wives, I think. And Michael Vick and his wife, when there's in this particular scene, and his wife was talking about, I don't know if it's her, but I think Mike was talking about how much his wife wanted him out the house, didn't want him sitting around the house because he had retired or whatnot, so he had to go out and get a new job. Because I understand, you want to bring money into the equation, but I don't think that's what it was. I don't think Mike Vick was hurting for money. I just think that she gets, these women get used to a routine, man. They living single while being married. What is marriage for? Cam Newton has everything he wants. He has a family that he's taking care of, that he's leading. He doesn't need a ring to validate that. But unfortunately, you're going to have people around you that see you as an eligible man, as a man who's successful, and you need to basically connect that success to a woman. You can't be a single man, being a bachelor, enjoying your life, enjoying your money, enjoying your career, and not have a woman next to you, tied to you. Marriage ain't for everybody. It may not be for Cam Newton. It may not be for a lot of other men.